Good evening. How everybody doing? And welcome to the nighttime Bible reading for beginners, where beginners read the Bible and learn all about the goodness of God. Hey man, I'm so excited and I'm so happy to see y'all again, man, on this Monday. I haven't seen y'all or heard from y'all since Friday, so I've been waiting on this because like we said, man, this is the best book you can ever read. And so I'm happy to be here with you guys. Make sure, first order of business, as always, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Ep6 They Left Day YouTube channel. And also, if you want to support the channel, that way we can keep this going, definitely go to epsictheyleftday.com and you can definitely get you some merch, or you can get you some journals and planners. That way you can help yourself and take notes and things like that of us reading. And this is our second official week that we're doing it. And for those that are new, what we do is we read 2 chapters in the Bible, and we state 2 things that maybe stood out to us and 2 things that we may have questions or concerns about. And feel free, after you can follow along, you can read with me, whatever it is. Make sure you drop down in the comment the 2 things that stood out to you and 2 things that you may have questions or concerns about. So, hey man, I ain't gonna prolong it at all. I mean, I'm out of town right now, but I still had to make sure I showed up. So we in Florida with it, but guess what, man? I still had to make time for you guys because you are part of the family. And let's get to it. So let's see what we left off at on Friday. Somewhere. I think my card fell out, but I believe we stopped at chapter 11 in Genesis. So that's what we'll pick up from today, okay? Genesis chapter 11. The Tower of Babel. At one time, all the people of the world spoke the same language and used the same words. As the people migrated to the east, they found a plain in the land of Babylonia and settled there. They began saying to each other, "Let's make bricks and harden them with fire." In this region, bricks were used instead of stone, and tar was used for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let's build a great city for ourselves with a tower that reaches into the sky. This will make us famous and keep us from being scattered all over the world." But the Lord came down to look at the city and the tower the people were building. "Look," he said, "the people are united, and they all speak the same language. After this, nothing they set out to do will be impossible for them. Come, let's go down and confuse the people with different languages. Then they won't be able to understand each other." In that way, the Lord scattered them all over the world, and they stopped building the city. That is why the city was called Babel, because that is where the Lord confused the people with different languages. In this way, he scattered them all over the world. The line of descent from Shem to Abram. This is the account of Shem's family. 2 years after the great flood, when Shem was 100 years old, he became the father of Arphaxad. After the birth of Arphaxad, Shem lived another 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Arphaxad was 35 years old, he became the father of Shelah. After the birth of Shelah, Arphaxad lived another 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah was 30 years old, he became the father of Eber. After the birth of Eber, Shelah lived another 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Eber was 34 years old, he became the father of Peleg. After the birth of Peleg, Eber lived another 430 years and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg was 30 years old, he became the father of Ru. After the birth of Ru, Peleg lived another 209 years and had other sons and daughters. When Ru was 32 years old, he became the father of Saru. After the birth of Saru, Ru lived another 207 years and had other sons and daughters. When Saru was 30 years old, he became the father of Nahor. After the birth of Nahor, Saru lived another 200 years and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor was 29 years old, he became the father of Terah. After the birth of Terah, Nahor lived another 119 years and had other sons and daughters. After Terah was 70 years old, he became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. The family of Terah. This is the account of Terah's family. Terah was the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran was the father of Lot. But Haran died in Ur of the Chaldeans, the land of his birth, while his father Terah was still living. Meanwhile, Abram and Nahor both married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. Milcah and her sister Iscah were daughters of Nahor's brother Haran, but Sarai was unable to become pregnant and had no children. One day, Terah took his son Abram, his daughter-in-law Sarai, his sons Abram's wife, and his grandson Lot, his son Haran's child, and moved away from Ur of the Chaldeans. He was headed for the land of Canaan, but they stopped at Haran and settled there. Terah lived for 205 years and died while still in Haran. Chapter 12 in Genesis. The call of Abram. The Lord had said to Abram, "Leave your native country, your relatives, and your father's family, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you and make you famous, and you will be a blessing to others. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who treat you with contempt." All the families on earth will be blessed through you. So Abram departed as the Lord had instructed, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all his wealth, his livestock, and all the people he had taken into his household at Haran, and headed for the land of Canaan. When they arrived in Canaan, Abram traveled through the land as far as Shechem. There he set up camp beside the oak of Moreh. At that time, the area was inhabited by Canaanites. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "I will give this land to your descendants." And Abram built an altar there and dedicated it to the Lord, who had appeared to him. After that, Abram traveled south and set up camp in the hill country with Bethel to the west and Ai to the east. There he built another altar and dedicated it to the Lord, and he worshiped the Lord. Then Abram continued traveling south by stages toward the Negev. Abram and Sarai in Egypt. At the time, a severe famine struck the land of Canaan, forcing Abram to go down to Egypt, where he lived as a foreigner. As he was approaching the border of Egypt, Abram said to his wife Sarai, "Look, you are a very beautiful woman. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife. Let's kill him. Then we can have her. So please, tell them you are my sister. Then they will spare my life and treat me well because of their interest in you.'" And sure enough, when Abraham arrived in Egypt, everyone noticed Sarai's beauty. When the palace officials saw her, they sang her praises to Pharaoh, their king, and Sarai was taken into his palace. Then Pharaoh gave Abram many gifts because of her: sheep, goats, cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camels. But the Lord sent terrible plague upon Pharaoh and his household because of Sarai, Abram's wife. So Pharaoh summoned Abram and accused him sharply. What have you done to me? He demanded. Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister and allow me to take her as my wife? Now then, here is your wife. Take her and get out of here. Pharaoh ordered some of his men to escort them, and he sent Abram out of the country along with his wife and all his possessions. All right, you guys, that's the end of chapter 12. So we just read chapter 11 and chapter 12 of Genesis. And man, like always, it's always some great things that's going on in this book that we call the Bible, man. And I'm talking about, it's always so much great things going on that we can learn from. But the two things that stood out to me was when the people gathered and said, come, let's build a great city for ourselves with a tower that reaches into the sky. Man, they all was on one accord. They was all building, and it was working. It was going up. I'm talking about it was going up to a point where God was like, hold on, we got to stop this, because they finna build something all the way to the sky, because they believe if they got faith, they could do it. And, you know, when the people are united and they all speak the same language, there's nothing that's impossible. So when people become united and everybody's on the same accord and everybody's speaking the same language or speaking the same dialogue, man, anything is possible. That's one thing that definitely stood out to me. Like, if we all come together, or even if a few come together and we all talking the same thing, man, anything is possible. That's one thing that stood out to me. And the next thing that stood out to me, I ain't gonna say that one because everybody say that one, was when Abram said, look, you're a very beautiful woman. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, this is his wife, let's kill him. Then we can have her, so please tell them you are my sister. Then they will spare my life and treat me well because they're interested in you. And man, that stood out because honestly, like, even to this day, like, the females hold so much power. I don't even think they know how much power they hold, because I think they do, but me being a man, and I'm sure it's some other men that can agree, or maybe they won't, but I have seen a lot of things happen over women. You know what I'm saying? I done seen best friends turn against each other, family turn against each other. Man, I done seen people hurt each other over women, and it's that serious. Like one thing men don't play about, like, it's a couple things you can play with men about. Like, men will forgive you for a lot of things and let stuff go, but one thing they definitely ain't finna let go or let you, like, that I see men get irate about right away, if you try to play with their women. You know what I'm saying? And or if you got a woman that they want. Like, I done seen people disrespect men all because they want to show out, because they interested into a woman that this man may got. They may look at it like, oh man, he ain't nothing, I can get her. Like, because you got her, they think they can get her. And so that still happens today, you know. And that's what stood out to me. I'm like, man, that's still going on today. Like, where you got people that is willing to cross anybody out just to get what they want, because they looking at her and they interested in her because she's beautiful, which all women are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You can find something beautiful about anybody, period, like inside or out. You know what I'm saying? So let's definitely start out like that. Salute to all the women out there, all the beautiful women. But men will do some crazy and some dangerous things over women. And when I seen that definitely stood out to me. Now, one thing I had a question about, those were the two things that stood out to me. Now, the two things that I had questions about is, I want to know why God wanted to confuse the people when they wanted to build that tower in the sky, because they was coming to get closer to him. And I want to know, why did he want to confuse them? Because he made them all learn different languages, and they all split up, and that's when they all got off of the same page. So I want to know, like, why did God confuse the people? What was his reasoning behind it? So if you got the answer for it, please drop it in the comment for me, because I do want to know that. But I'm going to keep reading every day so I can continually learn, and I'm sure he going to teach me. He, you know, seeking ye shall find. So the more I seek him, the more he going to show and reveal himself to me. So he going to teach me about that. The next thing I will have a question about is, when Pharaoh's like, man, what y'all done did to me? He sent them all up out of there. I want to know if when Pharaoh sent Abram and Sarai back, did he let them keep the gifts or he took his gift back? You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, man, at first he was head over heels, but then all of a sudden he was like, man, nah, y'all done did something to me. Like, y'all done put something in this punch. Y'all done did something because I'm out here, man, a plague on me and everything. So, you know, what did he let him keep the prison? Did he let him keep the gifts or he was petty? He was like, nah, y'all need to just leave me alone. I don't know what y'all got going on, but take you and whatever else up out of here. You know, that's the next question I had. But man, again, man, it's always great when I'm able to fellowship with you guys and when I'm able to spend time with you all. I hope y'all definitely make sure y'all dropping comments, man, just to let me know that this definitely is beneficial to you as well. And if you got things that stand out to you, drop them down below. If you got questions, drop them down below. And man, if you got anything that you want to input on with me, man, send me a message, man, and I'll definitely get back with you as soon as I can, man. I promise, man. I'm a person that definitely will communicate with you, man. But until next time, man, you know, man, this is nighttime Bible reading for beginners, where beginners come together and read the Bible to learn all about the goodness of God. And as always, man, Oprok they left they genuine love to you all.